ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. I'm excited to be here with you. It's another lunchtime edition. It's lunchtime while you're sitting around. I have the perfect music for you to listen to today while you're enjoying maybe a little soup and a salad. Maybe tonight you're going to cook dinner. You have a date this weekend. Darwin Del Fabro's music. What a voice! Oh, it's dreamy and romantic, and it is the perfect date night, cocktail party, clean your house, put on the vacuum cleaner kind of moment. Darwin, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. That's a beautiful introduction.
I appreciate that. I know you from a little movie that was on Peacock called They Slash Them, with our friend to our show and my real friend in real life, Quay Tan, who is my
people. I love Quay.
Quay is a trip and a half, and we know you from that. But then I was revisiting speaking of revisiting the name of your album. Your music is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
I'm very happy.
While we're talking about it, the album is coming out. The single is out now.
Yeah.
When did you start singing?
When I was 3. Yeah. I won my first competition, as a singing competition, when I was 3, and haven't stopped since then. It's just crazy. Yeah. I think I learned how to sing first and then how to talk, and still struggling to learn how to talk in this language.
Well, I understand that. Well, while we're talking about the full album, the single is out, but it's Revisiting Elis Regina. Wherever music is heard, you can go and just go wherever, Spotify, Apple, Tidal, Amazon, wherever you listen to your music, and look. Tell us a little bit about your history. Where were you born?
So I was born in Brazil. I was born in the south of Brazil, and then I moved to Rio de Janeiro when I was 12 to work with musical theater. I have been singing since I was 3, as I told you, and 8 years ago I decided to come to New York to build my international career, and basically it's where it all started.
Yeah, you've had quite the career in Brazil. I mean, you've done television and theater and all of that. And then when you made the transition to come here, what has the journey been like to come to the States and continue to grow this career?
It's challenging. It's challenging in every place that you go. I am fortunate enough to have been traveling a lot around the world. And I always wanted I always wanted the idea of having a global career. I don't even like the word international, because it's just there's so many cultures that I want to explore and experience and identify with. That was a challenge. I didn't know anyone here. I couldn't speak a word of English, so but New York gave me the freedom, to be who I am. I feel very safe here. I feel at home. I feel like I'm a little all around the world living in New York, because there's so much culture here. So yeah, I decided 8 years ago, and I'm very happy with the decision. Always coming back now to Brazil. I mean, always coming back. I came back now 8 years after leaving Rio de Janeiro to record this album for the first time, and basically.
Well, I'm obsessed with the story. Now, to ask you a personal question, we've had some other artists on the show who have come from Brazil. Brazil is kind of in a fight, especially as a queer identifying artist, and Brazil has had a fight. I've heard we spoke to like drag queen who won drag competitions, etc., from Brazil, and talking about what it's like and the safety of life there for the queer community. Is that the truth? Is it sometimes not the greatest place? Is there a fight and almost like a revolution for queer rights that is happening right now in Brazil?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first place that most kills trans people in the entire world, and one of the reasons why I recorded this album is because when I arrived there, I was shocked to know how unknown the word non-binary means to them. When I said to them, "Oh, I use he, they pronouns," they were like, "What?" So I was very surprised, especially in Rio de Janeiro, Leblon in Ipanema, who people are not familiar with the neighborhoods, but it's just like a very touristic, very important city in Brazil, and still a very difficult place to be queer. Of course, I don't like to generalize. We're talking about, I live in the bubble that is New York.
Mhm.
If we go, any other place in America, we're going to experience a lot of drastic things too. But yeah, it's unfortunately sad that we still have to struggle. That's why I think art and music is so important in a certain way, because the image, and I'm privileged enough to put myself there with my dresses, with my makeup, and saying, "Oh, this is another image that I hope becomes a little more." I don't like the word common at all, but just like people got more familiar with
Yes.
this, and then we started to accept a little more. We have a long journey to go. I think it's much better than what it was 10 years ago, 8 years ago when I left. But yeah, it's still a challenge. But where in the world right now is not a challenge to be a queer person?
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better. I'm in New York, New Jersey as well, and a mile from New York City in New Jersey. And we sometimes forget about there's a whole other 49 states in this country and hundreds of other countries around the world that the battle is still on all around the world. So that's why this work is so important. Why Elis Regina? What about this music and this artist that some of us in the United States may not be as familiar? Why this catalog? Why now?
Well, Elis Regina is considered for me the voice of Brazil, the best singer of all time. And I compared her with Piaf, Billie Holiday, all of the big ones. She's from the South too, and she has that voice, and she's a storyteller, and that's something that I always fascinated being an actor and singer, hearing a sound and really understand what is the message behind and the secrets that singer it's not telling us. That's what fascinates with music. And I decided to go back to Brazil and have this experience there. And I was like, I want to sing something Portuguese. I haven't been there for 8 years. I want to go back to singing Portuguese. This is my first album, and why not challenge? She was very political at the time that she was alive. Always had a strong voice, and I want to bring my versions of those compositions of that woman into in my own way in 2014. And it's still I change a lot of the gender, and I play a little with that. My albums are related to that. So nothing better than take the best compositions, the best singer, and try to bring something new from that. Yeah, so that was my I don't know if I answer your question, but it's
You
so
sure
many
did.
reasons.
You sure did. Well, the full album, January 26th, the full album is out, so you can stream it wherever music is heard. Like we say, you say it right. I say it with my trashy New Jersey accent. You know how to say the name. Come on now, Darwin. That's how you have to say it.
Yeah.
Not your first album, not your first time covering a singer. Your other music is available now. So if you want to, there's two versions, two catalogs of music. You got to go stream the whole thing. It will make a beautiful evening of music for sure. When you went back and you did this album that's out, it's produced by someone who has quite the history. Would you like to tell us a little bit about how you chose your team to work on this?
So, this is actually my first album. The other ones were EPs.
Okay.
Just like I always just like, oh, producing my own things. It's just like, let's do like 6 songs and it's considered like a EP. That's why I did part
Yes.
ones too. Because when you produce things, it's just like hard to release a whole album. But I figure out that this was the right time. Delia Fischer is our musical director, and she's just the best in Rio de Janeiro. When I arrived in Rio with 12 to do my first audition in musicals, um, I worked with Delia and I sing one of the songs as my audition, one of Elis songs as my audition. And there's where everything started in my career in Rio de Janeiro. So when I came back and I was thinking about, let me do this again, the first person that came to my mind is just like, let me revisit Delia Fischer, because I wanted this album is, I say that it's for others, but it's for myself too. It's just like an embrace of a young Darwin who didn't receive much embrace living in that country and growing up there. And I wanted to now, being more certain of who I am and that I'm in the right path, tell him that he was and he is in the right path. It's just the world is not falling, but we're getting there.
Well, kudos and congrats. It's not easy to put together an entire album. It is not easy to get it produced and do it, not do it in another location and all of this put together. How long did this process take you to make this happen?
It's actually fast. I always have been thinking about revisiting Elis, but the whole thing happened in 4 months. I went to Rio and I stayed 4 months there preparing. I have 2 months of preparation with the musical director, and then we went to studio. We shoot 2 music videos as well. That one I'm going to be releasing tomorrow with the album. But in general, the whole thing was 4 months to start doing, like the prep from it. I'm always just like, it takes like a year to choose the right songs and changing playing a little with the gender, the pronouns and things that I want to make the message very clear. But the whole thing I did in 4 months.
Whew. Well, it is out and I can't wait to listen to I had a sneak peek. Your people might have sent me a little sneak peek, and let me tell you, it is like I said, a beautiful evening. Like, you put it on, and you really will have a beautiful evening with someone special, or by yourself, or whatever you're doing. You need to take a nice moment, take a bath, or have a nice meal, and listen. You have done a bunch of work. If it's Dangerous Liaisons down in Brazil, or if, like we said, they/them here, and now the singing and all of the how do you departmentalize your career? You're multi-hyphenate, you act, you sing, you're a creative across the board. So are you very particular? Is it as the work comes? Is it, this is my time to sing, this is my time to act? How do you differentiate between the roles?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think it's very hard being a queer, non-binary Latino living in America, and you have to do all. I always tend to. I love to create my own projects and be involved in projects that are speaking to who I am at that moment. And I always like to change. If I'm doing an album, I would like to go to do a movie or a theater or a musical. I like to not get in just one platform. But at the end of the day, it's just I think the work finds you. You fight for getting the work and putting things there, but most of all is just I'm in the point of like what's going to make me happy and brings what it's not there yet. I just don't want to be doing a copy of something. I really appreciate a lot of work that is out there, but it's already out there, and that's not something right now that intrigues me or moves me to do as an artist.
Well, you have done a lot of work as an artist aside from the movie. I mean, you're no stranger to stage either. I mean, in New York, if it's work at the Signature, if it's work at the Tank, which is where all the cool projects are. We talk about original projects. And then I was going to ask you about putting this show on its feet and on a stage. You've done cabaret, you've done concert appearances in New York. You've been at 54
Yes.
Below. Is there a chance that we are going to see maybe another show, a live performance with some of these songs?
Yes, it is. As I said, I'm not a person who right now is doing a lot of cabarets one after the other. I treat as a musical theater. It needs to have a story. It needs to have a whole. I love to rehearse, put on like musicians together. We're doing in Brazil first, and then we're coming to do a tour in New York. But it's just we're still in rehearsal process, putting the musicians together. I want to bring all the musicians from Brazil to play in New York, which is a challenge, but I want people to really connect with the soul of what the album is.
Ooh, well, if you have ever listened to some iconic Brazilian artists or American artists cover Brazilian artists, which a lot of them do, or the style, try to sing these songs because the rhythms are very different. There's a whole different type of path. It is a special. It is not for the regular singer to tackle these, and you do it so beautifully and so well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And just to clarify, the music while you're listening, this is not an album that is specific to any. You don't have to be Hispanic or Latin. You don't have to be queer. You don't have to be anything to enjoy this music. It is.
You have to be queer. You have to be queer. No.
Oh, queer only. We want all the streams, Darwin.
No. Yeah, it's just it's an album to really. I think I'm living in this New York crazy pace. It's an album to really stop to listen and enjoy the calm of. Even if you don't understand the words, I think you'll be able to understand the melody and the. I hope the feelings that I'm trying to pass there. So it's just it's a relaxation. As you said, I love a bathtub. Put in your bathtub, light some candles and just enjoy.
Have a moment. There's 10 tracks. The album is out. You can stream it wherever music is heard. You can follow Darwin on Instagram. Stay on top of it. So when he's coming to your neck of the woods, if it's in South America, if it's in New York, if it's around the United States, you'll know where you're going to be. And we're ready for all the stage, the screen, the music, the concerts. We want it all. We're ready for it.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. I'm ready too. I can wait to start doing.
Thank you so much for being, and thank you for what you represent and for all of us in this community that you're out there living your life and creating art for us. It means a lot more than I can say.
Oh, thank you for this. And it was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you. Beautiful person, beautiful music, beautiful album, beautiful message. If you want more information, make sure you follow on Instagram. Click the links below and stream the album. That's how you can support. You can support by streaming the album and getting the word out there. If you want more information about this little show, go to robertbannon.com or follow me at Robert M. Bannon on Instagram. You can always listen to my friends over at the Broadway Podcast Network. We're here every single day. We have a lineup for y'all, so you better stay tuned, stay with it, because we have a lot of artists and a lot of art to talk about, especially as we open up this winter-spring season 2024. Thank you for being here. It's always good to see you. Remember, there's more love than there is hate, and there's more good than there is bad. The best is yet to come. Till next time, bye, everybody.